Mary Poppins, Wee Herman, and a casino bomb are all on this day. Hey, welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is August 27th. It is the 240th day of the year. There are 126 days left in 2020, and this year just keeps getting better, doesn't it? Got a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico now that could be devastating. I'm waiting for aliens. That's on my list of what's happening next. Today is the 35th Thursday of the year. It is also International Lottery Day. International Lottery Day is a day for all of us that dream of a quick fix to all our dreams. It's estimated that 90% of people over the age of 20 in countries with a lottery system have played the lottery at one time or another. All right, let's see what else August 27th has given us. 1859, petroleum is discovered in Titusville, Pennsylvania, leading to the world's first commercially successful oil well. Oil was known to exist there, but there was no practical way of extracting it. Its main use at the time had been for medicine for both animals and humans. Throughout the 1850s, attempts to drill were unsuccessful, and then in 1959, they finally hit black gold. 1927, 5 Canadian women file a petition to the Supreme Court of Canada asking, does the word person in Section 24 of the British North American Act of 1867 include female persons? At the time, it excluded women. However, the petition was filed and the women eventually won. Now, how bad does that suck, where you actually go to court to get the right to be called a person? You know, it's great things have come as far as they have. Obviously, they could always get better, and I'm sure they will, but that must have sucked. From everything I was reading, it was almost like a lot of these different laws looked at females as possessions, like you'd own a dog, which, you know, by today's standards, that makes no sense whatsoever. Back then, I guess it was perfectly acceptable. Like I said, how things have changed, thankfully. 1956, the nuclear power station at Calder Hall in the United Kingdom was connected to the national power grid, becoming the world's first commercial nuclear power station to generate electricity on an industrial scale. That's pretty cool. 1980, a massive bomb planted by extortionist and sore loser John Burgess explodes at Harvey's Resort Hotel in State Line, Nevada. That's right on Lake Tahoe. This was after a failed disarming attempt by the FBI. Although the hotel is damaged, no one was injured because they had plenty of warning and evacuated the whole place. People were actually standing around watching this. Sadly, when the bomb went off, people were cheering like it was a big event. The bomb was placed by John Burgess, a heavily in debt Fresno landscaper who had lost at least $1 million at casinos on State Line and was hoping to extort $3 million from the bomb threat. He was convicted and sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He died in prison in 1996 at the age of 74. Now, I'd seen other reports that said he only owed $750,000, but a lot of people said it was over $1 million. I don't know. There's different reports on how much he had lost to the casino. I mean, that would make me angry, but you kind of know what you're getting into when you're gambling, right? 1991, Moldova declares independence from the USSR. 2003, Mars makes its closest approach to Earth in nearly 60,000 years, passing 34 million miles away from the Earth. You know, in space terms, that's pretty close. The next time it's going to be this close is 2287. Sounds like a good time to, get a mission to Mars going. 2011, Hurricane Irene strikes the United States East Coast, killing 47 and causing an estimated $15 billion in damage. That was a rough one. This one started in the Bahamas and worked its way up, hitting North Carolina, New Jersey, and New York, finally ending in Vermont. Movies released on August 27th, 1958, Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Elizabeth Taylor. This was a really good movie. She was such an attractive woman back then. Well, I mean, always, but, back then she was just gorgeous. 1964, Mary Poppins is released. This movie won 5 Academy Awards, and it's about a magical nanny who helped 2 children get closer to their father. It was directed by Robert Stevenson and produced by Walt Disney. It also starred Dick Van Dyke, who is still alive. He's still kicking. 94 years old, as is Julie Andrews, who's only 84 right now. Born on August 27th, 1908, President Lyndon B. Johnson. He was the 36th President of the United States. He took office in 1963 after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. He is one of only a few politicians in American history to have served as a representative, a senator, a vice president, and a president. He did it all. 1952, Paul Reubens, comedy actor best known for playing the role Pee-wee Herman. In 1985, he starred in that film Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which pretty much launched his career. His career was already taking off when that happened because of Pee-wee's Playhouse, but he just blew up after Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And then he got caught in a porn theater, handling himself, and was arrested. Then he went into hiding for a year or two, and when he came back, it was at MTV Movie Awards, and he hadn't been seen in public at all for the longest time. The humiliation, the embarrassment, whatever. He walks right up to the microphone and goes, "Seen any good movies lately?" It was terrific. Anyway, he was in Mystery Men, Matilda, and the movie Blow, which is actually pretty good. 1961, Tom Ford, American fashion designer. He launched his luxury brand in 2006. He worked for Yves Saint Laurent, Gucci, and a bunch of other different places, but he finally went on his own. Died on August 27th, Douglas Kenney, American actor, producer, screenwriter. He co-founded the magazine National Lampoon in 1970. He went on to write, produce, and perform in influential comedies like Animal House and Caddyshack. He died at the age of 33 after falling from a 35-foot cliff in Hawaii while on a trip with his good friend Chevy Chase. Now, you may not know him, but he had a lot to do with all those National Lampoon movies and stuff like that, and he was the creator of most of them. If you don't know who he is, watch the movie Animal House. He has one line and he goes, "What are we supposed to do, you moron?" 1990, Stevie Ray Vaughan, American singer, songwriter, guitarist, and producer. His mainstream career only spanned 7 years after getting his big break from David Bowie, who had seen him at the Montreux Jazz Festival. He is considered to be one of the most iconic and influential musicians in the history of blues music and one of the greatest guitarists of all time. On Monday, August 27, 1990, around 12:50 a.m., Vaughan and members of Eric Clapton's touring entourage played an all-star encore jam session at the Alpine Valley Resort in East Troy, Wisconsin. They left for Midway International Airport in Chicago on a helicopter. This was kind of a common way for them to get around. There's like one road going into the Alpine Valley Resort, and it's impossible to get out for hours after a concert or something like that. The helicopter crashed into a nearby ski hill shortly after takeoff. There were no survivors. There's a really cool statue of Stevie Ray Vaughan in Austin, Texas, right on this park that sits on the Colorado River. Not the big Colorado River. There's another one that flows through Austin, Texas. It's really interesting. All right, that's today's video. I hope you guys got some information out of it and some entertainment. Don't forget to give the video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Go out, be successful, and be nice to each other.